Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out and supporting the Storytellers. My name is Jennifer Alexander. I'm 39 years old, and I'm from Trier, Germany, a town about 30 minutes from Spangdahlem Air Force Base. I met my husband in 1996 while he was stationed in Germany, and we've been married since 2000 and have been together for almost 20 years now. While growing up, I never knew who my biological father was. The only thing I did know was that he was from Atlanta, Georgia, and that he was stationed at Bitburg Air Force Base, and that my parents got divorced when I was 2. So for about 3 years, it was just my mother, my brother, and myself. In 1980, my mom got remarried to a German guy from Trier. It was great. I mean, I remember him and we connected immediately. And I loved him so much that I actually started to call him Dad because he took that role on since my biological dad wasn't there. And he did everything for us. I mean, he went beyond. And whatever I wanted, I got it. Because I remember when I was a teenager in the 90s, it was a big deal with Jordans and hip hop music. By the way, I was a huge fan of Ice Cube. And he made sure that I got every single pair of Jordans that came out every 3 months. Even though they were like $250 or $300, he got it. And I always had the latest fashion because he wanted to make sure that I was taken care of. And he also made sure that every summer I went on a vacation for 2 or 3 weeks, camping, whatever it was. And I also got a chance to go to the Olympic Games twice, once in the States and once in Japan. So it was good times. But unfortunately, times changed and he changed. He started to find an interest in me beyond daughter and father relationship. And I remember it started when I was around 8. And by that time, my brother had moved in with my grandmother, so it was just me, my mother, and him. And it all started with just holding hands and a kiss on the cheek and a kiss on the lips. And it didn't end there. Unfortunately, it didn't. It didn't really end until I was about 13. And you probably think where my mom was in all of this. Well, let me tell you, predators are very smart. And he was a very smart guy. He really was. He knew exactly what he was doing and how he did it. But I remember coming home from school a few times and he was there while my mom was at work. Or the time, he used to be a truck driver. And he took me with him a few times and it actually happened in the back of the truck. And like I said, I was young and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought to myself, I was like, well, I guess it's what people do when they love each other, right? Well, I remember that thinking to myself, I was like, well, you know, honestly, I don't think this is right. And I remember thinking that when I was about 13, because I didn't see my friends, my girlfriends, doing this with their fathers. So I told myself, I was like, you know what, this needs to stop. And I told him, I was like, this ends here, here and there. And like I said, I never shared this information with my mother. I just couldn't bear to tell her what really was going on in our home. Just because she had this great life and she really enjoyed her life, so I just couldn't do it. So I kept my mouth shut. And like I said earlier, I met my husband in 1996. And that was the best thing that could have happened to me. He actually found my biological father in 2001. He contacted him. And he made sure that we established a relationship. And I remember the first time I went to the States, I met my grandmother, I met my 8 aunts, and I don't know, probably 30 plus cousins. I mean, I felt like Antoine Fisher. That's how I really felt. And it was great. I mean, I think that I really needed that, to see that there's people out there that care about me and love me. But it didn't stop there, because mentally I was a wreck. I really was. And I decided to seek professional help in 2009. And I went to what it was, well, it was off-base, and it was a rape and crisis center. And I met up with a psychologist. It was a younger doctor. And she gave me advice. She told me, she's like, in order for you to move on and to overcome this, you have to, A, write him a letter, tell him how you feel, tell him what you went through and where you're at now, and B, you have to forgive him. And I was thinking to myself, forgive him? I was like, have you been listening to anything I've been telling you for the last few months? How can I forgive this guy that's done this to me? And she's like, you don't have to answer now. Just go home, think about it, and the next session, you let me know what you decided. So I went home, and I thought about it. I really did. I was angry, and I was like, man, this lady is crazy. She's telling me to forgive this guy. There's no way. But the more and more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? I want to get away from this. So I actually did. I wrote a letter. I wrote a 2-3-page letter. I told him how I felt, what I went through, what I still go through, and just to get it off my chest. And times got better. They definitely did. But I still was really angry. I still was, I have to say. But throughout the years, what really helped me was to have my biological dad there. Because, like I said, I met him in 2001, and he was there for me the whole time. He supported me in anything. If I had a question or if I needed to know anything, he was there for me. And my number one is my husband. He was the one who really, really helped me through this whole time. Sorry, I get a little emotional. But he never left my side. He never did. He was always there for me, no matter what. He always encouraged me. He was like, you know what? It's going to get better. You will get through this. We're going to get through this, no matter what. And he was right. He was really right. I was like, I can honestly say that now, standing here, I'm a survivor. I am. I've overcome a lot. And I started to trust men. I started to trust my husband, to actually love him, show him that I love him. And if I can give any advice to anybody, it is that if you, in a crisis, seek help, because there is no way in hell that you're going to get out of this by yourself. There is no way. I always thought I could do it by myself, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't. And there are Air Force Life Skills. There's a hotline that you can call, or trust a friend or anybody. Just get it out so you can move on from this. And this is the best advice I can give you. And I'll leave it as that. Thank you, guys.